Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It has been a little while since I posted a video, and that's actually what this video is about. So if you're new to my channel, really quickly, my name is Joanna Holden. I'm a fantasy author and author tuber, and my channel focuses largely on two main aspects. The aspect of writing advice that I have been learning and that I'm sharing with you guys, which is usually based on fantasy and series writing, and then chronicling my personal journey as a self-published or indie author, or however you want to call that, as I write my books, as I go about editing and seeking out all the different professional services required, and then publishing. So those are kind of the two focuses of my channel. And for the large part this year, I actually haven't had as many like how-to type videos, because I have had so much stuff happening in the book realm, because I published a book this year. My debut was released during a pandemic. That's a whole other story, but we'll stick with just what this video is about. But this is a middle grade fairy tale retelling, and oh, it's my baby. I love it. And I am currently in the process of rewriting and editing and preparing for beta readers a second middle grade fairy tale retelling. The two are not necessarily connected, but they are both fairy tales. And yeah. Oh gosh. Okay, so I'm just gonna launch right in, because I'm not even sure. This is gonna be more of like a chatty update type video, because we are heading into, I personally am heading into a season of my life that is going to be much, much harder to make plans for and actually like be able to know in advance what is happening. For those of you who are not aware, I am very pregnant right now. I am 31 weeks, and yeah, baby is right around the corner pretty much. Being pregnant, right? It was a planned pregnancy, so it's not as if this took me completely by surprise. How do I say this? You can be completely prepared for something and still not be completely prepared for something. Do you know what I mean? Having already been through multiple pregnancies at this point, I was able to anticipate a little bit of what it was going to be like, but I also knew that I wasn't going to be able to anticipate it entirely, because I've never had a pregnancy while working on books to this degree before. I published my first book right at the end of my first trimester, and then just, you know, 2020 has been one heck of a year. I think we could all say that our 2020 plans have kind of just gotten thrown out the window, and we've been having to make things up as we go. So for the last couple of days, really the last full week, I have just been mulling over where I'm at in my writing journey, where I'm at in the year and in this particular season of my life, and what I need to do to move forward in order to balance as much rest as possible with as much productivity as possible, and to take into consideration just how much the non-writing responsibilities that I have are going to impact my writing responsibilities way more than they ever would. So the first thing to take into consideration is AuthorTube, and this is where it's gonna hurt, because I am going to have to announce right now that I cannot guarantee many, if any, more videos for the rest of summer. I am fully planning on sitting down and finishing the scripts and filming and editing those videos that I really have been wanting to make, but I do not foresee any more vlogs happening for the rest of summer, just because chronicling this part of the process is too random, too spontaneous, too all over the place. You know, there may be a week where I get 5 chapters written and then a week where I get none written. So I don't want to put any pressure on myself to try and chronicle that with a video. I am going to take an official hiatus from AuthorTube from when the baby arrives sometime in August through all the way to the end of September, where there is no pressure on me to film, to edit, to upload videos. If for some random reason I get an idea, I may film it, but I will probably save it and have it ready to post later in the year. But until then, up until baby comes, there are a few videos that I would like to post. So basically, my AuthorTube announcement for the rest of summer is that we're gonna get what we get. So there's hope for lots more videos, but I make no promises, which is why it's so important to have the notification bell on. Just putting that out there in case you are subscribed and didn't have that. Yeah, so that's AuthorTube. I will be taking an official hiatus after baby gets here for about a month and a half, potentially 2 months, depending on how early he gets here. But then the rest of summer, I will continue to try to put out content. And then after September is done, I'm going to kind of be rethinking what my schedule is going to look like, because for those of you who have had children, you know that first year can be really, really difficult. A lot of the time it will feel like as soon as you get a new pattern or a new system or new schedule developed, there is a change in the baby that changes everything else. So it's a time of constant growing, constant changing, any need for just constant grace. And so I'm going to be just kind of evaluating over the month of September probably, and maybe writing some scripts, maybe coming up with some ideas for how to make this a little bit easier. But I may have to back off for a few months, at least getting back into AuthorTube, to maybe doing like a video every other week, or maybe like a 2 weeks or 2 videos a month kind of deal. I definitely want to keep up as many videos as possible because I don't want the algorithms to completely drop me. But yeah, I also don't want to extend myself too much when my family's going to need me so much. The second thing, obviously, is the writing itself. This past 2 weeks have been very eye-opening for me, I think, for what the rest of the summer is going to look like. You guys know from vlogs and stuff that, first of all, I did polish and publish Snow Dust this year. I also have already written, I basically first drafted all over again, Little Hood, which is the second book that I've written, which ended up being 66,336 words. I am not at all ashamed that, you know, even if that's all that I get done this year, I wrote a freaking book while pregnant during a pandemic. So I am giving myself 1 point for that. I'm giving myself a point for that one. And I have gone back through, I have a whole vlog on that. I did a read through with my highlighters, which, oh my gosh, was so much fun. And I completely re-outlined, which I also did a vlog on, I believe. And I did sit down and I started the third draft process, which so far, oh my gosh, just the 2 chapters that I got done, I am so in love. It's so much better. It's so good. I'm so in love, and I can't wait to share the story with you guys. But I did take 2 weeks to get 2 chapters done, and then last week I did not write at all. So I have stretched the goal and given myself through to the end of July to finish this third draft, at which time I hope that it will be ready for beta readers. I'll be sending it out and I'll be getting feedback. I was supposed to be ready for beta readers in May, and then I moved it to June, and then I moved it to July, and now I'm thinking I'm gonna have to just go ahead and move it to August because yeah, which is really gonna put a crunch on me because my professional edit is in October, but we're just gonna chill. We're gonna chill. This is actually not really that bad of a thing because it'll be right about that time when baby is due. So I will have that liberty of I don't have to touch it for a while. But again, I do have that impending deadline of October 5th. I have to have this off to the editor and it has to be fully shaped up. So I don't really have much time to fix any large developmental overhauls. So I am hoping to clean it up enough during this month and a half that I have left that in order that it will not need as many developmental edits as other books of mine have in the past. Snow Dust only required the additions of a couple of new scenes and one pretty major character change that actually was pretty simple to put into effect because it was combining 2 characters that were basically repeat characters. So it worked out perfectly. But I do also need to have the time and the head energy to do that in the month of September. So needless to say, I'll be relying very heavily on my amazing and supportive husband to help me with other stuff, with the promise that I will not be having this big of a deadline next time. I will be a little bit, I think, smarter and wait with the editing deadline. So my goal is to finish the third draft by the end of July, send it off to beta readers, and then begin the 4th draft in September, have it off to an editor at the beginning of October, and then once I get the editing material back, go ahead, put the editing material into place and proofread and publish this is like the third part of the news. I am still planning on publishing Little Hood this year, you guys. It was supposed to be September release, then an October release, and now it's going to be November or December, one of the two. But I am refusing to stress about it because that's not going to help anybody, and I know that the people who have been dying to read it are still going to read it. So I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all. Worst case scenario, this is adding to my backlist so that years down the road, as people find me, they have more material to read. So, you know, it's all good. I already have the cover done, and it looks so amazing, you guys. It looks so amazing. The ebook cover, at least. So paperback will probably be coming in October when I know how many pages I actually have. But yeah, as far as my other projects go, I've kind of had to drop most of them by the wayside. Project Ether, which is a co-written high fantasy project, is still on the table. We are still, my co-author and I are still working through that. We're doing that in some writerly calls about once a week. As we are both actually, you know, going through all this crazy life stuff and just needing to take it slowly but continue to move forward. And it's, oh guys, it's going to be so amazing. This is another one that I cannot wait to release to you guys. Unfortunately, the YA fairy tales have had to pretty much drop off the plate for this year. I do not think I'll be getting back to them, which means that my publishing schedule is going to change for next year and the following year. So 2021 and 2022 are going to look very different from what I had originally intended, but you know what? That's fine. Maybe they'll look better than I intended. Who knows? So, and then of course my own high fantasy series, which I am temporarily calling Project High Fantasy, has had some incredible developments. Guys, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I have had so many little nuggets of like inspiration and clarification that I did not even think was going to happen this fast. Like, I dropped the project a year and a half ago now. I officially dropped it, but I've been working on the back burner. I think that's been perfect because since I am still technically working on it, just kind of not all the time, I don't have that pressure, so I'm having to sit down and like force stuff out of my head, but I've just been thinking about it, and it's been marinating. And when I'm listening to these online classes or lectures or reading a book about writing or even just listening to AuthorTube videos, stuff just clicks, and I'm just like, whoa, mind blown. And I go and I write it down in notebooks, or I type it up on the computer and I get it in my series binder. So that actually, it's coming along really, really well. And we have a guest, Miss Kaylin, who wanted to join. So Project High Fantasy is still coming along incredibly well, more quickly than I even thought it would. So that is a good thing, and I think I'm just going to keep working on the back burner. So those two projects, Project Ether and Project High Fantasy, are definitely still on the table. I gotta come up with a better name for that. Oh my gosh, comment down below if you have like a completely generic high fantasy type project title that I can use that actually sounds good, because I have given up trying to find a decent title for this thing. Anywho, well, that's really all the update that I have for you. The rest of the year, like I said, is going to look very interesting because I've never had 3 children all at the same time before, obviously. And again, the first year is usually the hardest. With this one, it was the first 18 months, but we won't go into that. Yeah, toes. So the rest of the year, not really sure what content we'll be getting out, other than for sure and certain there will be more content coming on my channel. Right, Kaylin? More videos? Yeah, more videos. Little Hood will be getting published by the end of the year. I might have a Christmas release or a New Year's release. That'd be fun. And then the other projects I've kind of had to back way off of, but they're still there, guys, and they're still coming. My YA fairy tales, I'm still ridiculously excited for. They're just gonna have to wait until next year. So basically the beginning of 2021 should be very interesting. Well, the end of 2020 should be very interesting as we all kind of look back and say, what the heck? But hopefully in 2021 at the beginning, I will be able to set out a new plan for kind of how I want to proceed with publishing, with writing and publishing the other books. And yeah, that's really all the update that I had. That's where I'm at right now. And this is where we are at right now. Thank you guys so much for watching this update video. And I hope that for any of you who are also struggling a little bit with, or a lot bit, like me, with trying to figure out your schedule right now, especially if you have extra life stuff on top of all the crazy crises going around the world right now. I hope that this is inspiring to you and encouraging to you and reminds you that you are not alone. You're not a failure for needing to take breaks. You're not a failure for needing to give yourself that extra bit of grace. So thank you guys again so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to click the thumbs up and consider subscribing on the way out so that you do get to have the awesome content that is coming down the road. Because guys, seriously, there are some fun videos that I am so excited to get to share with you. Also, make sure to hit that notification bell because again, we don't know when these videos are coming up. So if you want to be notified when they do, be sure to hit that notification bell. Again, all my information for social media is down in the description box below. My website's down there. Links to purchase my book if you're interested in that are down below as well. Yeah, I think that's everything, right? Okay, well, I love you all so much, and I'm praying for you all that you are all well and safe, and I hope to see you very soon with another video. But until then, bye.